Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna react to the Combat Cash 3 Queen's Court. When the first time I saw this, I was like, "Oh, can't wait!" But sadly, how do you say? I had fucking work yesterday. It was a pain in my ass. Didn't have much time to do some shit. Gotta do fucking work. I mean, no, I had to do some shit at work. Freaking what's called? I gotta do fucking homework, which is, well, homework was easy. It's just fucking work was a pain in the ass. So yeah, cause I know my fucking boss, my manager, wasn't there for shit, and we had to stock out food, and the food we had in the fucking crib was like, oh, mostly it was like all salty, saggy, fucking mushy, fucking mashed potato shit. Like, what the fuck happened in the back? So yeah, that's actually pretty much it. Cause everything else, it was just a pretty decent day. I mean, it was a pretty decent day yesterday, so yeah. So yeah, let's get into the Queen Court comic cast right here, because I know I saw like a little bit footage of it, especially, and also the trailer as well. We're just gonna get right into the Sindel, Shao Kahn and Shao Kahn and range, yeah, Sindel, Shao Kahn and rain gameplay. So yeah, that's uh that's actually pretty much it for in the meantime. Right now, I'm gonna do something, so I'm just gonna leave this on for like uh 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'll just show like the reaction of like the playset of their move set. So yeah, let's begin.
Wouldn't have been possible before the cameo system.
Let's take a look at the Queen.
All right, so let's start with some of the basics. Two cool things about her in this game is she has these cool VFX, like this purple energy, and then the use of her hair.
Regal purple.
Absolutely. She has a really good range, as you'd imagine someone with magical long hair. And there's a couple normals I really wanted to talk about. First is forward 4, which kind of takes out of a page of the last game, and it's like kind of her main mid-range tool you want to use to get in.
And that's a mid, right?
Yes. And it's pretty quick, but it has a really neat new follow-up. She jumps into the air. It's a low combo starter, and she can actually control how far she goes. She can do this close version and actually land right in front of them, far version. Or she can just do it by itself, go in for a throw.
That's a wrap.
Thank you. Go for this cool low. Or one of her block strings. Another normals is back 2, which leads into an overhead, and she can combo into it, or you can do back 2 by itself and actually be airborne. Let's go over the special moves. We'll start with the classic, the Scream, the iconic, quintessential Sindel move. It's still one of her best combo starters. It stuns. They can't hear anything for a while. She's gonna get a free hit. You can kind of do it at mid-range if you think you caught them sleeping, not blocking. Like I said, it's great to hit confirm. It's
with punish.
Exactly.
I just throw it out all the time.
All the time. Then let's go over fireballs, which are always one of the most important kind of key things about her offense. She has high hairball, low hairball.
Which is in the moves list.
Yes, that's canonical, hairball. And then air hairball. New to this game is it's a straight, very quick fireball. It is not the downward arc it has previously done. You can do it really low to the ground and it's quick, and I think it's pretty effective. Look at that, I still got it. Her EX versions have some interesting properties. So, the straight one will actually eat up fireballs. So if you use a bar meter in a zoning war, you'll actually beat out their projectile. And the low ones are really neat. So she adds that little hair whip at the beginning, and up close, actually a hit that will pop them up. Which means in the corner, you can do cool stuff. Like, get a combo. Oh my gosh. There we go. Maybe I don't still have it.
I think it's good.
Thank you. So it's neat. It turns this pure zoning tool up close into an actual offensive tool.
So 2 different ways you can use it.
Exactly.
Both equally cool.
You can also use that with your mix-ups, which gets to the next tool, her cartwheel. The overhead, straight from MK9. If you EX it, it has armor. It's really good up close. It's great as a wake-up attack. You can use it after moves like this. You can mix it up with low, her sweep, and a really fun down three. Look at that.
So like for me when I play against you, you really have to be paying attention because one of the moves is a mid, the other is overhead.
Exactly.
They look different, but you have to
Yes.
you can't be on autopilot.
Right. And then lastly, she has the classic levitate. She can float in the air, she can drop straight down. So like for example, you're trying to zone. We can standing low fireballs to go under your hairball. Not very effective to low fireball when you're literally not touching the ground.
Right.
She can also cancel it, and she can do fun cancels. Like for example, she can do the back two, the airborne, go under flight, and if you EX it, it's actually significantly faster. And she has some true block strings that they won't be able to interrupt.
Got it.
Now let's talk about how this can play into her cameo. I have chosen, oops, set it to all. I have chosen Serena, who we got a little taste of in the last trailer, but now we're actually going to show her moves. So her first attack is the blade. It's a very quick projectile. You can see the cooldown is pretty quick. Then she also has Kia's blades. She goes full demon, throws multiple, they come back, and this actually leads into combos, so you can do fun stuff. You confirm that into a full combo.
That did look fun.
It is fun.
And she can really get up in the air.
Yes.
In a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways. She also has her demon up kick, which is a great wake-up attack. It's invincible. It's really quick. You can also use it as an anti-air. And then lastly, she has a fourth move. Every cameo has at least 3, and some might have more, so she's one of those. Jakata's Curse. She puts this rune on the ground, and while the opponent is standing in it, let's set it to default, Liu Kang's meter is being drained. Pretty quick,
Yeah,
you can
pretty
see.
fast.
Yeah. Now this is an ambush move, which means you can do it while Sindel's doing other actions. So for example, while you have a combo going, you can summon her.
Oh, there's a lot of setups there.
Yeah, so you can imagine you can use that in the corner, in the middle of your combo, have her coming out, drain your meter, stuff like that. She could even do nasty stuff like drain your meter so you can't break a combo in the middle of your combo.
She's not going to like breakers very much.
She does not, which is, let's maybe get into that a little bit more. So, let's go back to what we said earlier. Sindel has a couple of moves using the cameo system. So, you know, Sindel in the lore, she's the queen. She has this commanding presence. She has, you know, what the kids would say is Riz.
Oh, they would say that.
Thank you. And, you know, she could use that to actually command her cameo and maybe more. So let's start with this buff move. Once you activate it, while it's active, cooldown, it will be significantly faster for your cameo. So you can see normally, this move's already pretty quick. Once she has this active, it's even quicker, and Serena, she is recovering so fast her cooldown, she can basically do that like almost indefinitely. So you can turn what normally would be kind of a limited use move into something that you can just use almost like any other special move. Or some of the other ones like Kia's Blades to have a pretty long cooldown. It's significantly faster when she has that active.
Now she's giving herself up there.
Correct.
There is some, yeah.
Correct. But once she gets going, her cameo use is substantially better. There's also an EX version with a really interesting twist. When she EX it, she's now commanding the opponent's cameo, and if the opponent tries to break, they will be stunned. and you get a reset instead. So let's show that again. I have the move active. The opponent goes for a breaker. You can see Sonya actually is like, gets the little head and, you know, oh my god, I'm confused. And your breaker is not just disabled. Once you get that stun, they popped up and Sindel gets a full reset.
Got it.
No breakers allowed.
Couple ways to avoid them, seems
Yes.
like for her.
There's also another really interesting move I'd like to show. So for this one, Sindel can take control of an opponent's cameo and stun them. So for example, I will call it out, and Sonya is actually dizzy.
Yep.
If Sindel is in the middle of doing this move, where she points, while the cameo's out, so you have to do it on a read, the cameo is stunned for this entire length of time and cannot be summoned.
Okay.
There's also an EX version. With this version, Sonya will leave the screen and I gain control of her. And I actually get a free use of either of the cameo's moves of my choosing. So for example, I now have Square Wave. And that use of
you can pick any of them.
Correct.
Not just
Any
the one
of
they were
Sonya's
doing.
moves. Right.
Got it.
I have control over it for a pretty good amount of time, and it does not cost any kind of cooldown or anything. So you could actually do stuff like I could summon Sonya to start leg grab to go into a combo, and then go into Serena's demon like anti-air move to end the combo if I wanted. You could even use 3 cameo moves in one combo if you wanted to.
People are gonna have some fun in training mode on this one.
Yeah, it's really, really neat, and it's something that's gonna, you know, how effective and the way you use it's gonna change on what the opponent's cameo is.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Do we want to do Fatal Blow? Is that all?
I think that's the best way we can finish, right?
Let's do it. I love how the hair gets all
Oh yeah, the
crazy,
big hair is
super cool.
amazing. That is a nasty one.
Yeah, the leg pull, I feel that. Yeah,
It's definitely amongst the most brutal in the game, I think.
pretty bad. I mean, good bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Cool. You want to move on to Rain?
I think so.
Again, as we were talking about Sindel, who plays Rain? What players play them?
I think Rain's always been kind of a flashy character that appeals to people that like to hit buttons.
Yeah.
Rain's, though, quite a bit different in this game. Rain has traditionally been a ninja. In this game, in Liu Kang's new era, he's been completely reimagined as a mage. He's the high mage in Sindel's court, and his moveset has substantially changed. There will be little hints and fun nods to the previous versions of Rain, like you'd expect,
Right.
but he's going to be one of the more radically altered characters, and I think it's an interesting new take. So,
And like we've done in the new era, like all the characters will have, they're still somewhat who you know. There's still stuff that's
Right.
going to bring you back
Right.
to them that you loved using when we were younger.
yes.
But they've definitely changed.
Yeah, he
So,
probably has like mostly new moves to go with his new role, like his new power set. It's pretty neat, so let's check it out.
let's do it.
So you'll notice right off the bat, he has a new weapon, which is his wizard staff. And he uses it in most of his normal attacks. And he is definitely now much less of a physical fighter than he ever has been before. He is a very powerful mage, and he uses it in most of his attacks. A couple normals I really wanted to talk about. Like you can see even his sweep. Instead of using his foot, he literally uses his water staff. This is definitely
I love
coolest
the
thing.
kick up,
It's-
the
it's
kick up.
so good.
And you'll notice the water leaves the top, gets in there, and then comes back to the top.
Right. I absolutely love it. So let's start off with a couple normals I really wanted to show. His forward 2, forward 2, 1, 3 is this like really good range mid Pretty quick. He's also got forward 3, which is an overhead, into a double overhead, and he gets a pop-up. That'll be one of his most important, I think. And then one other normal I really wanted to show was a standing 4, which, even though he's no longer a ninja, he still has tremendous leg strength.
Right.
So strong that he can actually kick you across the world. Now this is an interesting one, because if you hold it, he gets a combo. And he can also cancel out of the hold to fake you out.
Okay.
There you go. See, I'm good. And let's check out his throw, which is a nice nod to the classic water bubble. He goes in with you, and then you burst out. So you can see his normal attacks are very fresh and different. And I think the water effects are awesome. So you want to go into his special moves?
I think so.
So he has some really interesting zoning tools. I mean, some might even call him a premier zoner. And let's start with his straight projectile, which takes up a ton of real estate, is fairly quick, and has some interesting ways that you can change it. If you EX it, he gets a full knockdown. He can actually hold it down and get a stagger. And you can actually cancel out of this hold down. So you can mix up doing the move,
Timing. Yeah.
doing different timings, doing the EX, or canceling out of it. Keep the opponent guessing. When you have a projectile like that that takes up a ton of space, what's the one thing you know the opponent's going to try to do to beat it?
Jump.
Jump. And that's not going to be super effective because he has an anti-air version. And this has a very neat EX that actually allows him to pop up for combos.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's pretty cool. Again, it makes a full screen projectile become kind of an offensive tool up close. Now, one thing would be, well, what happens if they're using projectiles against him? And he has a water bubble where he surrounds himself in water, and any projectile is going to be negated. It'll actually just be destroyed when it hits the water bubble. And this is something that he can set up, go behind,
Okay.
go in the middle of.
Works as a shield.
Exactly. But if you EX it, it surrounds him and travels with him.
Kind of walk him down.
Exactly. So then you can go in, do his lows, do his overhead, all that good stuff when he has the water shield on.
Gotcha.
Now, there's other ways you can get in. He could set these water portals, and he can set them anywhere he wants. And then he can actually warp through him. So you could do cool stuff, like set one here, go in when you want to get out, warp back to where you were. Or, when you're in, you can set one, do some fun zoning, and then use this to get back in.
Okay.
And then you can go straight into combos, fun stuff like that. Now, once you've established that you're willing to teleport or throw out some of these fireballs, and the opponent's scared to move, you can start using the whirlpool. And he has close, medium, and far. These will go on the ground, and if the opponent walks into it, they get popped up for combos.
I love how he just grabs the top of his staff and
Yes,
throws it down.
it is
Really cool.
so cool looking. Another move he has is his Geyser. This is a pretty good advancing special he can 2-in-1 into, and if you EX it, it has armor. So it's a good wake-up attack, a good way to beat pressure, and I think it'll be one of his best combo enders. And then lastly, one more awesome full range move that kind of shows the full extent of his power.
Oh. So cool.
And this is a move that he can actually hold, or cancel and just drop down. So you can do stuff like you're doing your water ball, and what's called it a fireball, and it's literally the opposite of that. Go into this, fake out the opponent, immediately drop down, You could set up, you can do all kind of stuff. Set up portals, be doing that Thunder God move, cancel it, go through the portal, just all kind of options full screen. I think he's going to be a really interesting character to kind of freeze them up full screen to get him and start doing his mix-ups. And speaking of the mix-ups, let's kind of show how he can use his cameo and go with that. I assigned him Striker because I think a cop teaming with a wizard is the exact kind of thing you'd see in Mortal Kombat,
sure.
right? So the first thing I'll show with Striker is he has his grenade toss. Straight out of MK3, comes in, throws the double grenades. They can either go low or high. And you can imagine, these are ambush moves, which means they can come out while Rain is doing his attacks. So you can do stuff like you're doing your straight water beam while he's doing his grenades. They can also aid you in combos. So you can do stuff like...
Got it.
Striker also has a set of baton moves. He's got Cop Bop, where he comes in and does an overhead, and the classic baton sweep from MK3. So these are lows and overheads. So, great
Got access
example.
to both of them.
Yes.
Nice.
So, one thing you could do, you got your overhead, your opponent's stand blocking all the time because they don't want to get popped up. What am I supposed to do? Sweep them. But you can also do this in a string. So in overhead, you can do overhead, low. Then they get used to the timing. They're like, oh, I'm one of these like Ninja Killer or Sonic people with good reflexes. I can fuzzy that. Then you start doing stuff like Cop Bop. Mix it up. So just from this 50-50, he can use Striker to have more 50-50s.
That's how you beat Sonic Fox.
That's the key. That's
Got it.
all you have to do.
Got
And
it.
like a famous football player once said, it's more than a 50-50.
Got it.
Lastly, Striker has one more move, which I think is probably my favorite.
My favorite thing is he used a sports reference.
Well, sort of.
Half and half.
Striker comes from behind and handcuffs you. And this gives you a reset. Then you get a bunch of advantage and you can go for a mix-up.
Okay.
So you get into your combos with a handcuff move, then go in and continue your offense. So like you could start a combo with your overhead, go into the handcuffs, and then make them guess low.
Got it.
It's super
That's
fun.
really cool.
Yeah. So I think that's Rain and Striker, and I maybe go into his Fatal Blow.
Let's take a look.
And I'll just say Striker is my favorite Fatal Blow.
Okay. All right, that was Rain.
Yep.
Very exciting. People get their hands on Rain soon. That'll be awesome.
He's definitely not washed up.
Nope. Some fresh moves to make your opponents salty.
Nice.
Cool, let's move on. We're going to talk about General Shao now, a character that I'm very excited about as a lover of big, bruising characters.
Yep.
He's still big and bruising. He's just a general now.
He's just a general. He is not the Emperor.
Right.
He's got a new weapon, new moveset.
A bit of a stance character, but I wouldn't say in the same vein as like a Kenshi.
Right.
But definitely when he has axe in his hand, axe out of his hand. When it's out of his hand, be careful when you're near the axe. That's all I'm going to say. Let's take a look at how he works. So, big thing, just to show, this is kind of the thesis statement, just swings for the fences.
He's a
right?
powerhouse.
This is back two. It has advantage. So if you're blocking, don't want to push any buttons probably. Push
Yeah,
some
I was
buttons
just
there.
jabbing.
Don't do that because you're going to get hit.
Right.
Great move there. This is a really quick, kind of almost get a little distance to it too. Like I can get you from there. Like really nice, kind of can lead in some combos.
Right.
Punishing move I like to use is this right here. Very fast, bounces them up. We can show some more stuff with that later, but obviously you can see there's some pathways with that move.
I also really like how his kick attacks are just either uses axe or he's just huge big boots.
just like
Yeah,
standing
just-
big boot. And like a lot of people, I enjoy the 2-player animation strings.
Right.
So he has this overhead, doesn't combo in anything, but hit the throw button afterwards.
So good.
And he also has a low one as well. And I'm sure we'll come back to those later as well.
Right.
Now let's talk about his special moves. His special move, the one that kind of encapsulates what he is Power Strike. He will just throw the axe on the ground, and there it is. And you have about 7-8 seconds just to do stuff without the axe, right? You can also call it back. Boom.
Okay.
Now, when it's on the ground, different strings. That's back 1.
Nice.
He also, and I get the axe back after, of course, doing the command grab.
So all of his axe moves get replaced with different normal attacks.
Yes.
And some are faster, some have different reactions.
Right. And some change some of your other special moves. We'll get to that in a second.
Even his throw changes.
Yes, even his throw. So here's his throw. While we're at it, let's just show the, Motaro as well. And then with the axe, he just bangs in the face with the axe.
Right.
Other specials he has. So you can huge. Well, that was the meter burn. I got a full screen projectile. Now, if you're close, you can. Sorry about that. You can do some of this.
Pops up. Nice.
Right. He has a buff. This makes your axe powers do more damage. You can
Okay.
also EX that to get more time on it as well. Big move in his arsenal that also leads to a lot of crazy good damage is his armored launcher is his knee.
It's kind of represented, kind of makes me think of the MK3 like up shoulder, except now it's a knee.
Right, and you can throw that out a lot of places. Always there. But if you EX the knee, you get a free power slam after that. So you can do like that.
Okay.
And then his axe is on the ground again.
Okay.
So that's how you rotate throughout the character, right? And now it's on the ground, now it's back to me. So then you can start doing really cool stuff like this into power slam, back into that.
Nice.
And that's a pretty nice chunky combo.
And now you have the axe back.
Right. When the axe is on the ground, other cool things can happen. Power slam. Now, I have a ground pound.
Neat.
Now, here's the interesting thing. When you are on the axe, it is an overhead low,
Okay.
which is kind of tough to block.
Yeah.
You can also, throw this down, do this.
And
Combo
that's like
after
a quick recall.
Right. Yeah, so if you have it down, you also have a move where you can just be near it, and it's very fast slash.
Okay.
So a lot of really cool stuff you can do.
And he's clearly meant to be going in and out during
Yes.
the fight, in the middle of combos, getting it back at the end of combos.
Maybe recalling it if you want to.
Right.
Lots of stuff like that. But if you are, as my opponent, near the axe, there's a lot of stuff you need to think about.
Right. So it's almost like with the axe, you have, kind of really good range, not the quickest moves. Without the axe, you're much quicker, and
Yes.
you can use it, establish the axe on the screen, and they're going to have to respect it, and that's going to kind of open up your grabs, your mix-ups, stuff like that.
And it's super cool. You can also, he also, has just pick stuff out of the air and that sort of thing. I mean, the knee into power strike is huge.
Right.
Right. Really important. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I do want to show some stuff with Motaro.
Okay.
So Motaro has a couple things you can use. Now, obviously, I'm a big guy. Projectiles might scare me.
Right.
Well, I can do this. I can pull them out, walk behind it. You don't want to be throwing projectiles at it.
That's so
That
good.
will reflect. And I'm walking it down with that.
I love that, that's a way to call back to his thick reflect skin from
Right.
MK3.
And now you're a little confused. What do you do? Boom, you're
Nice.
He also has this turret he can do. Will shoot 3 shots at you. Has a low one too, he can do that. Now here's something that I've chosen Motaro with General Shao for a reason.
Okay.
Remember this move?
Yes.
Can't do a lot out of it.
Right.
He has this teleport, right?
Okay.
Which maybe you can read a projectile, maybe not. But you can move around the battlefield quicker as General
Right.
Shao. But with this overhead, I can teleport, and still
And that's
continue
a true
combo.
combo.
It's a true combo. So now you have to worry about this, and you have to worry about something like this. Like that's now in play.
Right.
So you can do the full thing too. You can do like.
What a cool example of one of my favorite things about the cameo system is it
Right.
allows you to break the rules and restrictions of your roster.
And I
character.
think that's why I love Shao so much, is that he breaks the rules also with the knee into power slam. He's
Right.
It's a special into a special, which Johnny can do too. Of course, he breaks that rule at times with his meter, with his height meter. But yeah, there's a lot of cool, fun, sort of breaking the meta of what Shao is, just so you can do with that.
And
Really
I think
cool.
it's so neat about the cameo system. You kind of look at your play style, look at your character, and think, what are my weaknesses? What are the things I think I'm missing? And you can use your cameo to turn those weaknesses into strengths.
And for me, it's like if I'm so far away from people, just as a zoner, just even having this just to get me out of dodge, right?
Right.
Now I'm close again.
Now
and
you're
now
close.
now you don't want to be there. Let's show the. We need to turn up to do the.
Yeah, give yourself 1%.
Let's do that real quick. Show the fatal blow.
It's a real good one.
Drops it from the sky.
Oh, he's not horsing around.
Oh, well, General Shao.
Pretty cool.
Super fun. I've had a really good time playing with them. Just a different style of fighting, different than you're used to for General Shao, so
Right.
it's been a really cool time.
Yeah, and I think it's really neat. You know, we also showed Geras having these big brute characters who you might think is like, oh, they're brain dead brawlers or whatever. And no, in this game, no, they're not. They're definitely, you know, really interesting, nuanced characters. It's really cool.
Or they can just swing an axe as hard as they want.
Or you could just do back to over and over again and do throws.
Right, and that's also
Right.
a fun way to play. So before we go, Derek's not here, and this hurts so bad. You know that, right? It's time for birthday shout-outs, everybody. I don't mind the birthday shout-outs. It's the horn, really. Here we go. You ready?
I am ready. I'm excited.
Mike Lee. Regina Stefanik.
Ooh, kitties.
Nicolette Mihalka. Brian Evans. Eric Butt. Kingston Lorenzo. Tim Matthews. Liv Nava. Trinier Cole. Brad Fauchot. Brian Arvizu. Cam Lynch. James Bolvin. Ruben Perez. And Chris Bartholomew. Those are your birthday shout-outs for this week. Fun stream.
Yes.
I probably said it was shorter. It probably wasn't that much shorter in
Nope.
the end. But we want to get in here and show you some characters. We'll be back very soon to show you more, hopefully. But before we go, I think we have a fight from QA
We do.
that we would love to show you.
This will be a fun
It's
one.
going to be a really cool one. So we'll show you that. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Our cotton colony. You may have been a soldier.
The General and Baraka. This is no nuance needed.
No, these are our two monster brawler guys. They love to fight. They're nasty. So we've got Baraka with Striker
Leaves his blades in the ground, regrows blades. Awesome.
and Shao with Motaro. I have no idea why Striker would be working with Baraka, but you don't always have to follow the lore. Ooh,
Big whiff.
whiffs that overhead.
Power slam.
Let's see if Shao keeps him in the corner. Nope, switches sides.
Now you can, with that move, choose which way you want to go.
Right. Oh, big stab, shish kebab. Back to playing in neutral.
That big jump stop that Baraka does is very fun.
Yes. Oh, this is gonna be big.
Notice how he had his knee with a pop-up without the axe in his hand, without any meter.
Forgot to block the second part of that fatal blow, the low. That's tricky. Paid for it. All right, let's see. One way to look at it is at least Baraka no longer has his fatal blow. Good jump attack.
Fishing for some throws, got him punished.
Ooh, breaker.
Big break, because I was going to put the axe on the ground and lead to some damage.
I love the Ninja Breakers. Just a big hind kick. It's so exciting to see Motaro back. You know, he's a character that makes very, very few appearances. Like, I've always wanted him back. Very exciting.
Ooh. You saw earlier he hit the back two twice, but he will do it again.
Yes. Sometimes you gotta do it again. The no mix-up, mix-up. Big overhead.
Very quick overhead when the axe is in the ground.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. There could be matchups where it's better to not use your axe as much, have axeless be the main way you fight if they're a faster character, maybe like a Liu Kang or something. Another breaker. They take 3 bars in this game, and I think one thing a lot of people forget is your cameo has to be available.
And notice when he breaks right in, right before power strike, his axe is staying on the ground.
This is a close one. Oh, really good punish. Gets the turn out. Nice. That'll be it. Let's see what he's gonna do. This looks dangerous for Baraka.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Fatality. General.
Well, that didn't go well for Baraka.
Just melted.
That's a bummer.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. We love to hear what you think on Twitter, what you think about the characters and whatnot. For myself and Stephanie, we will see you next time on the Combat Cast.
Bro, are you fucking serious? Oh my god, this is some bullshit. Sorry about that. So, yeah. Sorry for being AFK like the whole fucking video. It's because I was doing like a lot of shit. I was doing some things. Took me like 40 to 50 minutes to like finish it all. So, yeah. What's my problem? My bad, you guys. I did saw a little bit on Sindel's gameplay. It was freaking raw. Sadly, she's gonna be a spammable characters for players, which is annoying as fuck. The mid Rain does a shitload of combos, which I do like. And for Shao Kahn,
And think, what are my weaknesses? What are the things I think
and it's
I'm
the best
missing?
part
And you
about
can
this
use
Shao Kahn is
cameo.
that he does
Turn
more
those
damage
weaknesses
than
into
Kahn with
strength.
fucking just him spam hit people will spam with him with the fucking the spear thing, which is like kind of like an unblockable shit. So yeah, that's actually pretty much it. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Do appreciate it. Subscribe, give it a like, click on my notifications, see my newest videos. Also, follow me follow me on social media. Link description down below. And yeah, and yeah. Hope you guys have a good rest of your have a good rest of your night. Peace out. Sayonara. Stay wolfies.